So there's something going on right now with our food here in America, and honestly, it's getting harder to ignore. People are starting to notice that things just don't seem right anymore. The quality's off, the prices are through the roof, and nobody really knows what they're eating half the time. So I want to share some of these stories with you today. Let's take a look at what some folks are saying about what's actually in our food.
Hey, what's up, America? Are you eating cloned meat? I bet you are and you don't even know it. As a matter of fact, since 2008, apparently you've been allowed to eat cloned meat and dairy products. These are products that come from cloned fucking animals. Well, Canada just found out that they're also allowed to have cloned meat, but they're not telling anybody about it. Just like here in the United States, they don't have to disclose where it came from. Now, cloned meat, that's meat that comes from cloned animals. So what they did was took the DNA of one animal and then cloned it like Dolly the sheep. Now you're eating that. Now, I personally wouldn't mind too much, except that there are some mutations that happen, unfortunately. And I'm not exactly sure what that'll mean for the future. And a lot of other people, including Canadians, are also worried about that. But yes, cloned meat products and dairy products, that's been here in the United States since 2008. I bet you've had some of it and you didn't realize it. That's milk coming from cloned cows. That's cheeses, butters, same products. That's the beef also. Not every case, just some cases, but I guess you'll never really know, will ya? Because in the United States and now in Canada, they don't even have to disclose that shit. So, bon appetit with whatever bullshit meat you're shoveling down your gullet.
Okay, this is part 2 to the lab-grown meat saga. If you're following that video, I have some updated information after doing a little bit of research. So you'll never guess who's the big name money backer on this, on the lab-grown meats. Bill Gates. I don't know why I was shocked to find that out, but I was. I shouldn't be. And Bill Gates' whole idea is that cows are the ones causing climate change. So that's their whole idea behind creating lab-grown meats, which, by the way, they're not calling lab-grown meats in stores. They're going to be called cultivated meat. So if you see a packaging with cultivated meat, that's the same as lab-grown meat. They're also trying to market this, saying that they are GMO-free, antibiotic-free, hormone-free. That's like their big marketing tactic. And from what I can see, this meat is for sale in Singapore only. They have not launched in the United States yet, but they have been approved to sell in the United States, so it should be coming very quickly. So let me know if you've seen it in stores near you and what you think about all this.
I just got the memo that in the States, you are now allowed to serve lab-grown salmon. So just for context, they've been serving lab-grown chicken for a couple of years now, but in late May, this lab-grown salmon actually hit a restaurant menu in Portland, Oregon. And I'm just like, really? I genuinely do not want my protein to be grown in a lab. Like, just because the FDA says that it's okay, no, I will not be eating it. And no, I will not be giving it to my children. Is it just me? Or are we just super keen at putting things inside our bodies that are like man-made in a lab? I just don't understand. And hear me out. I'm going to take a bit of a jump, but just follow me for a second. I feel the same way about like fillers. I don't understand how we now live in a society where we have normalized that people can inject things into your face to look a particular way, and those people don't even need to be medically trained. I know you're probably thinking, how do I go from food to fillers? But I think the principle is the same. We are so comfortable, even keen, to allow these essentially foreign objects. They are foreign to our body, be it food through salmon, and apparently it doesn't have scales or something. I might have made that up. No scales, no bones. I may have made that up, so don't quote me on that part. But the point is, it's definitely made in a lab, and now people are definitely eating it. In the same way that I don't understand why you would inject your face with chemicals that are man-made and think that that's like cool and not be worried about the side effects. And let's be honest, yes, they do tests and all of these things, but in the same way, I swear they said that filler doesn't migrate, it disappears. Again, I'm not an expert. I could be chatting absolute shit, and I'm sure you'll let me know. And now we're like, okay, fillers like move around the body. I'm sure that in a few years we're gonna feel like maybe that lab grown salmon isn't such a good idea. But tell me, will you and your babies be eating lab grown salmon? Maybe I'm just too old fashioned, babes. That could also be the problem.
On top of the high grocery prices, I think that we're all buying fake meat. It's too soft, the texture's off, the smell is off, the taste is off. It's too soft. Like steak, I can like rip it apart with my fingers. That's not normal.
Have you guys seen this video? It's so disgusting. So basically this woman had somebody brought her some Texas Roadhouse steaks, and they're essentially look like mush. It was actually really fucking disgusting. It looks like somebody molded some beans or mashed potatoes. She said it stunk too, into look like steaks, and then just put some grill marks on it. So she said it's completely mushy inside. And this reminded me, a few months ago, I had bought some raw chicken from the store, and I cook a lot, so I know exactly what meat should feel like. And I remember I was pulling off the chicken to clean it, and it just started falling apart like string cheese. Like, never in my life had I seen chicken shredding like it was stringing. It was so disgusting. And I just remember thinking, like, what the fuck are they doing to our meat? Because it was really gross, and that's what this reminds me of. What do you think?
Our food is not real food. Let me explain. It's not real food. Look at this bread, y'all. I literally brought that like August 20th for my son's birthday. We had a cookout, brought the bread in, like, you know, you bring the stuff in, basically threw it up top, and right now I'm cleaning out the kitchen, and I see this bread. Why is it not molded? It's not hard. This shit is not real.
Don't you find it interesting that a billionaire who's investing in lab-grown food also owns a health food grocery store? I really thought about that because y'all have been on this app exposing a lot of the bread in there for being bioengineered. And I like whole paycheck, but I just feel like, wait, their owner is investing in lab-grown food and he owns a grocery store. There's something more to this story. He's definitely going to be selling the lab-grown food at his grocery store, and because he owns it, he'll have the right to disclose or not disclose what's lab grown and what's not. And do I really want to have to read the label and ingredients on every single thing when this is supposed to be a health food store? I've been saying since 2021 that society is splitting up. Not everybody is going to want to get the chip. Not everybody is going to want to live off of UBI. Some of us, you know, kind of already know where that leads to, and so we're going to live off grid because we're going to have no choice. If you don't want to follow the program, you are going to have to live off grid and not be in the system at all. And many of us, including myself, are prepared for that reality. And so I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? I'm really going to make it an active choice to go to farmers markets. And again, that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to support our local farmers, as we should be doing already. We're going to have to support our local farmers. We're going to have to support people in our community and rely on ourselves to feed ourselves. We are going to have to go back into communal and tribal living because corporations and billionaires don't care about you. You're nothing but a dollar sign to them. So just some food for thought. I really thought about that. Let me know what y'all think.
Now, when you watch these, what really stands out is just how disconnected people feel from their food supply. I mean, cloned meat, lab-grown salmon, things being grown in facilities we will never see. And people aren't asking for this, right? It's just showing up, and we're supposed to trust it's all safe. I think what bothers people most is the lack of choice, the lack of transparency. You're standing in the grocery store with no idea of what you're actually buying anymore. Now let's look at what people are saying about the quality of what we're eating.
Why is so much of our food here in America tasteless? Like, why do our ingredients taste like cardboard? I'm not saying all food in this country is bad, but the majority of it where I live is just so mid. So much of the food I eat here tastes like the idea of what it should taste like. For example, last night we made caprese sandwiches. Every single ingredient in the simple dish was just meh. Like, the tomatoes were just like styrofoam, the bread was tasteless, the mozzarella was okay, and we went organic too. So in countries like Italy or Portugal, the cuisine there is very simple. because the ingredients just do the talking for themselves. That's why a caprese salad is 3 ingredients, right? But here, it feels like we have to dump half of our spice drawer on a food before we can taste it. Look, I hate to sound like that guy that just studied abroad one semester and always talks about it. And people will defend the food here until their dying breath. My comments are going to be a war after this video. I swear I'm not romanticizing food in places like Portugal or Italy or wherever. I just think it's better. And I'm not talking about the cuisine. You might not like the cuisine, but you cannot argue with the quality of the ingredients. The food just tastes fuller. Again, there is good food in the US. I just went to Seattle a few months ago. The food there was phenomenal. The ingredients were fantastic. So it does exist. I'm just saying, where I live, it doesn't, which is weird. I mean, have you eaten food in other countries? What do you think about the quality compared to what we're eating here?
Here's a non-comprehensive list of reasons why I personally don't eat prepared foods in grocery stores. If you are someone who this is gonna bother, scroll away. Let's start for the stuff that's actually like truly prepared in the store versus manufactured and then put on a hot bar, like sent in from a manufacturer and then just like put in a tray and put in a hot bar. The stuff that's truly prepared there. Okay. You know how there are sometimes like recalls and you'll see like a bagged salad or a like fruit cup or something that's recalled for listeria or other types of shit like that, E. coli, that kind of stuff. So those facilities, those manufacturing plants are regularly being tested because these are huge corporations, huge industries, and like health inspectors until Doge fucking cut the funding. But these things were regularly being tested. I'm sure they still are to some extent by the states, whatever. Those facilities are being tested. So if you're buying like a cup of fruit that's been sent to the store and it's like cut fruit, if there's a recall because of listeria, you're gonna know about it, right? And also those facilities are just like more sterile. If you're buying fruit that's cut in the store, you're just hoping and praying that they are truly keeping the kitchen clean and truly keeping the regulations so that cut fruit isn't sitting out and growing listeria. You're just really living on a prayer, okay? It's much better to cut your fruit at home. For stuff on the hot bar, generally just anything that's actually made in a kitchen in a grocery store, like you're really, really, really relying on people to be following health code. And I know that's technically the same as restaurants, but it's not. It's not. Okay, just trust me on that. There are a lot of variables here that you're just hoping people follow. And that's all before the food reaches a hot bar, okay? Once food is on a hot bar, first of all, there are markers in the trays, okay? There are like lines in the trays that if you're in the know, you know where they are. A lot of them are overfilled, which means all the food that's like on top is actually automatically technically out of temp. Nasty. You're also just hoping and praying that they are truly keeping it out for the legally allotted amount of time, maximums, and not just like trying to maximize their margins, right? Which grocery is already a super low margin business. So a lot of places are squeezing margins and keeping food out longer than it should be out. Also, temp checks, you're really hoping that those are being done regularly. The stirs, and that's not even counting like people, customers, touching the ladles below the handle and putting it back into the soup, or like sneezing on a hot bar, or there's just a lot, okay? There's just a lot. So for me personally, I stay away from prepared foods in grocery stores. But I love the enthusiasm, you do you, okay? Love you all. I hope this isn't too scary.
It's not news to anyone that our food in America is terrible for you. But I have to highly encourage you to really start looking into what you're actually eating. For example, we have started making homemade meatballs, which is like kind of annoying to make, but really if you make them in a big batch, it takes like 20 minutes because the frozen meatballs are chocked full of sodium. And my husband has a cholesterol issue that he's trying to take care of. And he's realizing as he's going through the foods that we have been eating that just the standards, the staples, like ketchup, for example, are just chock full of stuff that we don't need. And there are alternatives out there. Heinz ketchup has a simply ketchup version that is significantly reduced with what's in it. Our FDA needs to just generally be doing better, but we can make a change in how we're consuming our food.
The food in America is so unhealthy. Even the healthy food is unhealthy. There is nothing healthy to eat in America unless you shop at a local farmer's market, which not a lot of people can, and not a lot of places have farmer's markets. Not everyone has the ability to grow their own food. Excuses, excuses, excuses. Government, why the hell is it okay for people to sell other people food that's gonna make them sick, get indigestion, be lethargic, be bedridden? How is that legal? I swear, if I go to a different country and I eat all their food and I'm perfectly fine, I'm never coming back. I love my country, I love my nationality, but whoever is okay with us eating this bad food and made it normalized, because we get older and it's harder for us to break down food, you're a fuck ass bitch, and I hope that you get eaten by sharks.
So these past couple months, I have traveled to Spain, Korea, Japan, and Hong Kong. And every single time I eat out there, I feel great. But when I come back to America, all the food makes me feel bloated and feel like shit. Like, I completely believe that all our food in America is completely poison. I don't care if it says organic or real or whatever. Like, I feel everything in America is bad because every time I ate overseas, I never felt bloated. I felt okay. I was able to eat multiple meals. I feel like every time I'm in America, I could eat one meal and then feel super full for the rest of the day. Even eating at McDonald's overseas feels way better than America. Also, it makes me think how like Americans are struggling. Like, women are taking IVF to get pregnant. Men are having erectile dysfunction. Like, there's really poison in our food, and it needs to be changed in America because it's horrible.
I'm someone who came from Europe, and this is what I've noticed about food in America. I'm sorry, but food here is trash. Chemicals only. Even bread here is not normal. Bread. In Europe, the ingredients are simple, and it should be that way. It's not normal to get bloated. It's not normal to get inflammations. It's not normal to get mood swings. And most importantly, it's not normal to binge and to think about food 24/7. All these chemicals that they put in your guys' food want to make you eat more. Think about it. It's for the money. And it's to get you guys lazy. But anyways, before you buy anything, look at the ingredients. And that is not called an ED. It's literally taking care of your own health. Okay? It's okay to look at ingredients before you buy them, especially in America. Ingredients should not be hard to read. If they are hard to read, I don't think you should put that in your body. It's really not hard.
I remember when food just tasted like food, and now you're hearing all these people travel overseas and come back asking why everything tastes better everywhere else. And it's not in their heads. There is something real going on with our ingredients, with how things are processed, and people are realizing even the organic stuff isn't quite right. That feeling of not being able to trust what you're putting into your body, that's a heavy thing to carry around. And then on top of all that, let's talk about what this is costing us.
I just realized that groceries for a month cost more than a 65-inch flat screen TV in America. For a single person. That's fucking insane. That is so wild whenever you put it into that, like, perception. Oh my fucking God. I remember when, like, getting a 65-inch flat screen TV used to mean, like, you were rich. Groceries for 4 weeks of living cost more than a 65-inch flat screen TV. What? You can now afford a TV better than you can groceries as a single person every single month in America. What the fuck? But, inflation. Why the fuck do TVs not go up? Because that's how they keep us brainwashed. That's how they keep selling us shit. Oh my God. I can't fucking deal. I'm so broke. And not because of me. My groceries cost more than a 65-inch flat screen TV.
I don't know if you guys have been tracking the price of beef, but it is absolutely out of control as prices have skyrocketed. Right now, a pound of ground beef is over $6, and God forbid you want anything fancier than that. A steak is nearly the price of your firstborn child. Like, forget about it. And it's not just at the grocery store. If you go out to a restaurant, they have to pay higher prices on beef as well.
I just get so mad when I go grocery shopping now. So mad. Sit next to my enormous $55 haul today. We're cooked. I know how to fix this, though. I know how to fix this. Brothers and sisters, black, white, yellow, brown, purple, whatever. Doesn't matter. We have to be in this together. Solidarity, people. Solidarity. Pick a date. Pick a date. And then we aren't going in these grocery stores for a damn week. Not a dime to them. Not a dime. We're going to sink these bastards. They're gouging us. They're gouging us. And you SNAP people need to be on board too. Can't use your SNAP for a week. Don't give them a dime. Let them throw their shit away. This is insane. We need to be in this together, America. It's time. It's time. We got to do this. Let's be honest, we could use a good fast anyways in this country.
You guys believe in this shit? Check out some of these prices. Are you kidding me? Almost $4 for a bottle of water. Are you kidding me? Look at this shit. What the hell is wrong with these people? Look at this shit. Nearly $4 for some damn regular Starburst. $3.29. Are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding me. Look at this shit. Let's see what else we got going here. This is bullshit, guys. These prices, this is ridiculous. Watch this. Let me show you this other one. Look at this. For a damn Hershey's bar, look at this. Look at this. $3.29 for a regular damn Hershey's bar. You guys are smoking crack. But I think I will get the one for $3.29 with the almonds. Look at this. That's crazy. For this little dinky thing. You guys believe in all these prices? $3.29 for this little candy bar and all the other crap? Ridiculous. Tell me what you think, guys. Right over here somewhere.
Food is so expensive that I literally cannot stray from Aldi. I cannot buy a cart full of groceries for $300 anywhere else besides Aldi. I tried going to Kroger. It's closer to my house. $300 is like half the cart. I like to meal prep for the month so I don't have to go again. I don't know, I'm just lazy. But I cannot stray from the Aldi prices, and their produce goes bad so fast. Even Walmart now, if I get a cart full of groceries, it's $500. Also, I like to buy bulk at Sam's, and that's my fault. But I'll get 4 items at Sam's, and it's $150. I'm bro, these were just necessities that I wanted to buy in bulk, like butter, things like that. And then I'm how did I spend so much money? It's just half of my bill expenses are groceries.
I feel like crying, y'all. I just put 3 bags in my car, right? Just left my neighborhood Smith's. Look how much I spent, y'all. $80 for 3 punk ass bags. So much love to all my good people out there that's making it happen, because I don't know what these people talking about when they say inflation is getting better. That's a damn lie.
When you watch these, it's heartbreaking. You can see the frustration on people's faces. They're doing a basic grocery run. Look at their receipt and they're just shocked. And it's not like they're buying anything crazy, just the basics. And what strikes me is how exhausted people are becoming. They're tired, they're stressed. This is every single week now, and people are wondering how much worse is this gonna get.
Oh, so you think meat is expensive because of the ranchers or imports? No, it's the foreign-owned processing plants that have a monopoly that squeezes farmers and jacks up your prices. See, the price of meat has skyrocketed up to 50% since 2021, and the real culprit is the big four: Tyson, Cargill, JBS, and National Beef. They control 85% of the U.S. beef market, and half of that is foreign owned by China and Brazil. If that isn't a national security red flag, I don't know what is. With 10% getting shipped overseas, that ties our grocery bills to the global market. Then you add in price fixing, collusion, pandemic profiteering, where plants shut down. Meanwhile, these firms posted $820 million in record profits. Ranchers got crushed, you got gouged, but Trump pushed to enforce the 1921 Packers and Stockyards Act to break the monopoly. But lobbyists dumped over $10 million a year to stall the reform. And now you know why most of us are vegetarians.
You want to know what blows my mind? The fact that we live in a country that used to feed the world, and now we're importing beef from Argentina just to keep up with demand. And then you got diabolical supervillains like Bill Gates trying to force feed everybody his own weird lab-grown petri dish meat. None of this should be considered progress. This is intentional collapse. Look, I'm a cattle rancher. I live this life every damn day, and I can tell you firsthand, this doesn't happen by accident. The policies that gutted American ranching, they weren't just bad decisions. They were strategic. If you haven't noticed, and I don't really expect that you have, well, nearly 700,000 independent cattle ranches have vanished since the 1970s. You think that's a coincidence? It's not. It's consolidation. It's control. It's the same story playing out across every American industry. Take the heart out of rural America, replace it with corporate supply chains, and then pretend it's about efficiency. Meanwhile, you're paying higher prices for beef that's been shipped halfway across the planet, while local ranchers, they're shutting their gates for good. Tell me how that makes sense. It's not about supply and demand. It's about making you dependent. If we can't feed ourselves, we're not free, and they know that. You don't have to be a rancher to understand what's going on here. This is a national security emergency, period. Because when your food supply is outsourced, your future is held hostage. Your children's future is held hostage. And when ranches die, the town dies. The feed stores close. In fact, one just happened to close right here where I live. The mechanics pack up, the schools close down, the families move away, the culture disappears, because you can't replace ranches with imported beef and expect to still have a backbone as a nation. It doesn't work like that. I own Fat Cow Ranch here in Wyoming, okay? We do things the way that they're supposed to be done. No shortcuts, no antibiotics, no chemicals, no fake labels, just American beef raised by American hands on American soil. And I'll give it to you straight. Rebuilding this industry isn't going to come from politicians. It's going to come from men and women who refuse to let this country become dependent on anyone but itself. We need producers again. People who actually build, who raise, who produce something of value. That's how a nation stays strong. And that's what's missing right now. Pride in production. We used to celebrate the people who built this country. Now we ignore them, we regulate them, and we replace them with imported product. It's not right. But that ends when we start paying attention again. When we start choosing American beef. When we start choosing local over corporate. When we start giving a damn about where our food comes from and who's putting it on our tables. Because this isn't just about ranching. It's about sovereignty. And if we don't reclaim it now, there won't be anything left to protect.
Old McDonald had a farm. Arkansas farmers. Let's talk about it. Arkansas farmers launched the SOS signal this week, stating that they are in dire need of financial assistance from the government. There was a recent study conducted by the University of Arkansas, and in that study, it is stated that 1 in 3 Arkansas farmers are in jeopardy of losing their farms this year if they do not receive a financial bailout. Arkansas farmers are stating that due to the soaring cost of goods, as well as starting to feel the effects of the tariffs, their farms are in jeopardy of going under. In an article that I was reading in Yahoo Finance, a gentleman got on there and said that he was a 6th generation farmer, and this year he has decided to throw in the towel, and that his son, who would have been a 7th generational farmer, will not inherit the farm because he has to sell. He cannot compete with the soaring cost of the economy. And the ironic thing that I read in the same article was that many farmers, I think it was about 70% of farmers, were in favor of the tariffs. Many believe that the long-term benefits of the tariff will help them out. However, right now they're struggling and they need some funds. So there is a safety net clause in the big, beautiful bill that just passed, giving farmers access to financial assistance if they're in need of it. However, those funds are not available until 2026.
You guys, I can't stay quiet about this. The talk about importing more foreign beef to help lower beef prices That's not the solution. It's the same failed policy that's already hurt rural communities, shrunk our American cow herd, and handed even more control of our food supply to big corporations. Right now, the 4 big packer companies are already importing beef from like 20 different countries, including Argentina. They're allowed to sell that beef right beside American beef without a label telling you the difference in the grocery stores. Without mandatory country of origin labeling laws, you as a consumer have no way to know where your beef came from. And that's exactly how the packers like it. More imports won't fix the problem. They'll make it worse. Every pound of foreign beef that's brought in weakens our own cattle industry and puts our nation's food security further at risk. If you care about keeping America's food supply strong and supporting American ranch families, the best thing you can do is be buying Ranch Direct. Obviously, we'd love for that to be from us at Diamond H Ranch. But even if it's not from us, find a rancher you trust and support them. When you buy Ranch Direct, your money is going directly to a hardworking American ranch family, and that's the future of American beef. So buy direct, and even better, take a minute to call or email your senators and representatives, tell them to oppose any increase in beef imports from Argentina, and to stand up for American ranchers. It really does make a difference. Let's put America's cattle industry first. More imports aren't the answer. You are.
You know, I think what all of this shows us is that people are waking up to the fact that something is off. And honestly, that's a good thing. We need to be having these conversations, questioning what we're eating and where it comes from. Because for so long, people just trusted the system. And now they're realizing maybe we need to start asking more questions. And look, I know it can feel overwhelming. You don't know what to trust. Everything costs so much. But here's what I'd encourage. Try to find local farmers markets if there's one near you. Try to grow even just a little of your own food. Start reading labels. Try understanding them, because the more we demand transparency, the more we support real food, the more power we have. And if you're feeling frustrated, you're not alone. So many people feel the same way. Please share your thoughts down below. Let me know what you're seeing in your area and if you've found any solutions. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you're doing okay. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.